Is surviving in Ceres long enough to build a colony and terraforming it fun? Let's find out! Hello Space Monkey, you're watching Space Crazy. Welcome to the channel and to our review of Surviving Ceres. My name is Serta and I will be your host for this video. Real Ceres is such a big rock in the asteroid belt of our solar system that it's been deemed a dwarf planet, and we have found out that it's full of water ice and hydrated minerals. The series of this game fits quite well the definition. Snow and ice all around, but of course, to be able to be a survival game, we need some minerals we can easily use, so we'll find those too. Is that what it takes to make a survival game, or will our hope melt quickly? As it's standard in survival games, you start with just the basics to build a base and have to build up your base, explore the surroundings, gather minerals, produce objects, research more advanced production methods and items, and so on and so forth. Surviving Ceres offers some twists to the standard survival theme though. The first one is that you are working on building a colony, and therefore in due time you will be bringing in colonists who will start taking over some of the work. They come in batches of 4 per rocket and expect you to take care of their well-being while working on the different advanced constructions. Be sure you have enough for them to do as well as enough for them to eat and drink. The second one, which I like very much, is that you first have to set up a functional base before you can start terraforming this dwarf planet. You decide when you start terraforming, but of course you won't have access to advanced technologies until you do so. Another one is that you will have to ramp up your defenses quite soon, as terraforming brings the alien creatures out who very much would like to keep their planet the way it was before and will therefore start attacking your assets. And if you want to keep surviving on Ceres and keep terraforming it, you will have to keep them from doing so. So far, so good. Surviving Ceres ticks all the boxes of a survival game, and while the graphics are not the best, they are not as important for me as the gameplay. After all, you would not call the graphics of Empyrean the best out there, and still Empyrean has a lot of juice. See the link up there. The concept of Surviving Ceres is not extraordinary, a feat that is anyway quite difficult nowadays with the big amount of survival games out there, but this year has some nice ideas and quirks and some ways to make the experience enjoyable. I like to tend my farm. I like that I have to think about 5 things at the same time while planning 5 more. What I don't like is the user experience. The interface is clunky and has some strange oversights. When building something, I can either build once or build to the maximum possible with the resources available. But what if I only want, say, 5 iron plates and not 20? I either have to build 20 and hope to need them in the future, or click make one 5 times. I also don't like the way it handles the inventory, where I have to move the contents around one at a time, and I'm not able to use what has become the standard of shift and click to move them from one place to the other. There's many small things like these which make the game clunky in its use where it does not need to be. I have nothing against the game being difficult, as the joy of survival games is having to survive with odds against you, but I have something about a game interface being difficult. That said, this game is being built by one person alone, and as difficult as it is for you to build your colony on Ceres, as difficult it surely is for him to have all parts of the development moving along. Also, he is very much available for ideas, comments and anything that comes to mind in the game's Discord. As it is now, Surviving Ceres is an interesting entry to the ecosystem of survival games, but not the best out there. Surviving Ceres may be a diamond in the rough or a dirt-encrusted crystal. I tend to think it's the former, as there are good ideas within a good concept. And this comes from a one-man studio, so you can't get more indie than that. Me? I prefer to support independent studios rather than the EAs or 2Ks of this world. But if I'm being honest, this is not a game I will be playing daily, but one I will revisit regularly, if only to know how development is doing and if the user experience has gotten better. Maybe a couple of hours every couple of weeks. There are better survival games out there, but for €10 USD you will be able to scratch a survival itch, support a developer who I think has quite interesting ideas and listens to the players. Surviving Ceres comes out for sale tomorrow, 2nd of May. There is a demo you can play right away. Buy it if you like the idea. Buy it to support an up-and-coming game developer. Expect it to grow in time. It's not the best survival game out there, but it has something that pulls me in every now and then.